Welcome back to Sportsbook Review videos after a crazy and injury-riddled week number 8 of the season. It's really been a big week for shuffling future odds here at the halfway point of the season. And there are three AFC teams that have definitely seen their odds move a ton since last week. And we'll start it off with I think probably the most obvious, and that is the Pittsburgh Steelers after the Le'Veon Bell injury that's knocked him out for the rest of the season. Probably one of the more gruesome injuries I've seen on a video. The Steelers have moved from 28 to 1 to 33 to 1 to win the Super Bowl, and definitely odds have gone down as well in the AFC and AFC North. The Pittsburgh Steelers offense without Le'Veon Bell, even with D'Angelo Williams, who is still a very credible and good running back, I think is going to suffer enough to where they are now out of the question, especially compared to the two other teams I'm about to talk about here to win the AFC. Pittsburgh just, I think, has had too much behind the eight ball and set back here because of the Roethlisberger injury now the Bell injury. It's really not a team I think I'd be recommending in the future odds here, even with this increase in potential value. Now the Patriots come up as next. They have been pretty much on this list all week as a team that's always seen their future odds rising, and it's once again happened at from plus 260 to plus 250 at Bet 365. The Patriots, with every passing win, are going to continue to go up in their Super Bowl odds. They look impressive. They look like they cannot be stopped. And the question is really now, when do we start talking about the potential of an undefeated season? They still have a trip, a very, very tough trip here or later in the season on the road to a team I'm about to talk about next. So it will be very hard for them to go undefeated, but at their Super Bowl odds, probably every bit of value has been bet out of them here. You probably, if you like the Patriots to win the Super Bowl, probably should have done that before the season started, before we knew about the status of Tom Brady, because things have changed dramatically now. Speaking of that team that the Patriots have to play later in the season, that's the Denver Broncos, a team that has seen their future odds both for the Super Bowl and the AFC steadily increasing and really have skyrocketed over the last week. At Totes Sport, the Broncos future odds to win the Super Bowl have gone from 12 to 1 before week 8 to 7 to 1 now as we sit in the middle here before week 9. The Denver Broncos offense with Peyton Manning finally starting to look like at least a semblance of what they were last couple of years. If they can even get back to just half of what they were over the last couple of years, this team is definitely a threat to knock off New England, not only potentially ruin them of an undefeated season, but ruin them of the ultimate undefeated season by potentially beating them in the AFC Championship game. If Denver can make up some ground here compared to the Cincinnati Bengals, they have a chance to get that week 1 playoff bye, which would be huge for this team. But even if they don't get it, this defense is good enough to carry this team. I think we've established that here through the first half of the season. As long as they don't have really any more devastating injuries, and along with the acquisition of Vernon Davis, which is going to be yet another addition to this offense, I think this team could definitely challenge New England, and there is still value to be had on the Denver Broncos. But that'll do it for me this time. Make sure you check out a couple of my other midweek NFL articles as well as some prop picks later in the week. But until then, for Sportsbook Review, I'm Jordan Sharp.